What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Dr. Umar Johnson is a very interesting person. And I know I say that a lot on my channel, clearly because I talk about interesting people. And Dr. Umar Johnson is definitely that. He's also an idiot. I hate to say it, it's the truth. He's an idiot. And it's not because of what he teaches. It's just because of his behaviors and flaws, in which I'll get into in a minute. Dr. Umar Johnson is one of these particular pro-black brothers, which I believe that he is. He doesn't really practice what he preaches, but that's another story. But he's the kind of person that believes that black people can be redeemed, which is very true. And in the case of Sukihana, he believes that she can be redeemed. Now, if you can remember, Dr. Umar Johnson was called out for even attempting to meet Sukihana, right? Sukihana is doing some things that really is uncalled for a young woman. She's a single mom and she's out here twerking, even on white guys, things like that. And what did Dr. Umar Johnson do? Dr. Umar Johnson came after black men. In other words, he's talking about the fact that, you know what, we let black men get away with this, but now we want to put down black women, which had nothing to do with the position, right? Now, shortly after meeting Dr. Umar Johnson, this is them in a photo, but what did Sukihana do? Sukihana went and started twerking on white guys in the music video. Dr. Umar Johnson even reposted the clip with a certain level of chagrin. But now, in promoting his tours, Dr. Umar Johnson posts this picture with Sukihana after clearly she didn't take him seriously. And of course, people are now criticizing Dr. Umar again. Why are you posting up Sukihana? Is there something going on with you and Sukihana? Things like that, which is what he's doing to get people talking about him. But I want to respond to what a brother posted, a brother in the hip hop community, brother by the name of My Son, right? I like My Son from what I know about him. He seems to be a really good brother, okay? And he's definitely a pro-black brother. I don't know very, very much about the brother. I know he has some issues with brother Hassan Campbell, but I like the brother. I like the way he moves and the things he talks about. He has a passion for our people, that of which I've heard. I've heard a few things he had to say. Very passionate brother. Okay. Now I want to read this thing that brother My Son put out. Now he reposted the clip or this video of Dr. Umar and Sukihana, and he says this: Malcolm Little was able to change from a drug dealer and a pimp, but Suki can't. F out of here. Listen, salute Dr. Umar Johnson. Stop complaining about our queens being lost and promoting sex, and be the man that helps them evolve and grow. I'm rooting for this. When a real black king is present, a woman will acknowledge and take his leadership. But everybody ain't built for that. Only lions can lead a lioness. I have faith. Protect black women. At Sukihana the GOAT. Okay, what My Son is insinuating here is that he believes that Dr. Umar Johnson is dating Sukihana. And that's what it clearly looks like. This looks like a romantic style of photo. And let me say this with all due respect to our brother, My Son. Okay, I love a brother like this. I'm also in the pro-black community. I'm also in the Pan-African community. I am not going to disrespect my brother for his thought processes because, again, this is the attitude that we need to hear. At least enthusiasm. Won't say perspective, but enthusiasm about our people. He believes that black people can change. That's great. But let's say brother My Son is correct. If she wanted to change, I would ask My Son, do you believe that Dr. Umar Johnson is the man that can make her change? And the reality is no. Dr. Umar Johnson is a big time, I don't want to call him a, he's a playboy in the Pan-African world. That's something that people know clearly. Dr. Umar Johnson is not going to commit to anybody. That is for certain. Okay. Dr. Umar Johnson, and I know some things personally that I will not share. Dr. Umar Johnson is a ladies' man. He has no intention on being with any one woman, although he's out here talking like this. He will never be married. From my understanding, Dr. Umar Johnson has not only one, but 2 daughters. He's not with any of the mothers. So let's say that Sukihana was serious, okay? Could Dr. Umar Johnson lead her? We got to be honest. Dr. Umar Johnson cannot even lead himself. Dr. Umar Johnson is too busy begging for cash apps and not completing projects. So what kind of man would Dr. Umar Johnson be for anybody? See, there is a stark difference between talking big on podcast mics or on Instagram lives and putting together sentences and phrases and, you know, things that actually have meaning and stuff like that. And I really appreciate that about the brother. He's a great intellectual. But Dr. Umar Johnson is not a man. Let's get that very clear. He's not a leader. Dr. Umar Johnson is a charismatic individual, but we don't respect him for leadership. Dr. Umar Johnson can just talk very good. That's what he does. He talks. He's not a builder. He's not something that anybody takes serious. And he's not a man that she takes seriously. This is just the truth. We can try to get around that if we would like to, but it's not going to change the fact that even if she was ready, he's not the person for her because he can't get himself ready. So I don't understand the optimism of brother my son when it comes to this, but it is clear as day that Dr. Umar Johnson is a joke. That's just what we got to call it for what it is. Dr. Umar Johnson, as talented as a man that he is, he's a joke. He cannot even protect the ladies that he had children by, let alone this woman here, or whoever women he's going to be dealing with in the Pan-African world with his hoeing. Okay? This is what we're going to talk about. It's going to be honest with the truth. So if we're complaining about queens being lost, I mean, Dr. Umar Johnson is aiding and abetting that also. So what's the whole purpose of putting up the picture? Because he's a clout chaser. You see, let me tell you this. If I meet a woman as a pro-black, a Pan-African, we meet, the next thing you do is go twerk on white guys. After meeting me, knowing how I feel about that, I will never talk to you again. You will not get a second chance to embarrass me. You won't. Number one, I don't believe if that was me. If I felt as strongly about it as he does, and I do, you're not going to make a fool out of me. What she did, she made a fool out of Dr. Umar Johnson. Then you post her again. In fact, you reposted the photo or the video of her twerking on white guys. So what does the woman have to do to show you that she don't take you serious, brother? You're not an individual that she takes serious. But what you're trying to do is be a guy that, you know, hey, okay, well, let me be serious with her. She's not serious with you, brother. She's not. She doesn't take you seriously. Deal with it. All right? You're a joke to her. So you're going to repost her after she disrespected you in front of your fans. You risked it all. You had no reprimand for her. Listen, you know, the sister went out there and did that. I'm not dealing with her no more. That's not what you did, bro. You went out and reposted her together after she did that. So then that tells me that you don't even respect yourself. As a pro-black, what kind of man are you? Now, you're going to have a problem with black men doing that. You would call that out for sure. But you have an issue here. And it needs to be called out because you're not being honest. You're not telling the truth, brother. This looks very bad to me, in my honest opinion. You look like her, which you are. So if she can't take you seriously, I don't think any other people need to take you seriously because you don't have no backbone. That's clear. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.